Rāhui, Rāhui, what's on top? Lockdown, lowdown, what you got?
Welcome to another episode of the Lockdown Lowdown. Rāhui, to Kāhui, Rāhui. That is Alicia. This shows you that these are not overly staged, that they're real life. Really stoked because today we're going to be talking with Sue Page, who is the librarian at Francis Douglas Memorial College, and so very much looking forward to chatting with her about what life in the lockdown looks like. And that timing is perfect because Sue is here now. Kia ora, Sue.
Kia ora, Liam. Do you need to be tuned into the minister at the moment? I was wondering about that.
Yeah, actually, the timing is pretty uncanny. No, I think we've got everything in order. We have heard the announcements around what's coming, but I suspect there'll be a fair bit of media this afternoon.
Okay.
Hey, your kitchen is really interesting.
Thanks. It's an old 1925 house.
Oh,
yeah.
What's that thing up in the top right-hand corner that looks like a toaster with a clock in it?
Oh, it's a tin my kids gave me for Christmas with some baking in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I love the vibe.
Good, thanks.
So how's things going for you?
Pardon?
How's things going for you?
Good. Yeah, it's going good. I managed to get the camera working on the laptop. Do you know what it was? Turning it off and on again.
Oh, yeah. I led IT at school for a number of years, and that was almost always my trick for fixing 99% of issues.
Yeah. And it's still, like, often further down the track in my thinking. It's not the thing that comes up first when I try and fix something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what does the lockdown look like for you day to day?
Well, I'm in the house mostly on my own. I have a boarder here, but he's an 18-year-old off work at the moment with the lockdown. And he's self-isolating. He's pretty good at that. So he's been doing that for a wee while. And it was really reassuring to hear Nigel Latter the other day saying that it's okay for teens to do that, for them to be in their rooms, on their devices, chatting with their mates. So that kind of let a weight off me knowing that. Yeah, my partner, he's around the coast about 30 minutes away, so he's isolating around there with his flatmate, so I don't get to see him for a month, and he turns 60 during the month, so that's going to be a bit tough. Might have to be crocheting something with what I've got at hand to give him later on, yeah.
Have you got plans for how you might celebrate his milestone?
Not yet. We'll think of something, yeah. We've just started doing the messenger video idea, so he's using the bunny ears and the funny glasses and that for the first time. yeah. My kids are in Auckland with their partners. They're all isolating up there, so we've been messaging regularly, and my mum and my dad are here in New Plymouth, and I'm buying groceries for them. So, but other than that, they're isolating. They're both over 70. Yeah.
Oh wow. And what is the school piece looking like for you? Are you in regular contact with colleagues?
A little bit, but what happened first up with school is once we realised what was happening, I put some measures into place with our website, and I started getting all efficient, and I started doing these little video tutorials for the students so that they could learn lots while they were away, during this process, how to use our databases and everything. But at some point it clicked, and I realised that probably what's more important for them was some more enjoyable activities that they could do online. So I changed the website. I sort of spent 24 hours just non-stop adding to it, adding little things like audio books. Audible have got some free audio books around at the moment. The Radio New Zealand stories, TED courses, little crash courses that John Green and Hank Green have put out that the boys really love. Just enjoyable, cruisy, casual stuff where they're still engaged and they're still learning, and it's a bit of fun. And there's also a PBS one called Eons, where it goes back in history, little video clips like what came first and how the egg came first, and a little tutorial on how that would happen. So Yeah, I shifted my focus pretty quick.
Wait, is that the answer to the question that the egg did come first?
Yeah, I can send you a link to the video, or you could actually go to our website, Francis Douglas Memorial College website library page, and watch the video. Yeah.
Oh, cool. And so do you have, are you doing things in your role as a librarian during the lockdown, or was it more about before the lockdown, getting everything set up?
Well, it was initially before the lockdown. I had intentions of doing quite a bit with students, but just these last 2 weeks, mostly what I've been doing is checking my email. So if a student has trouble logging in with something or accessing something, I'll respond to that. But really, I kind of needed to stop, and I needed to pause, and I needed to. I've had a really busy term. I've been running modules for years 7 through to 9 on information literacy and digital literacy. And I had to develop that program, deliver it to the classrooms, and evolve it on its way through, so that when the lockdown came in, I've just been so busy that I had to stop, realise what this meant for all our students and what it meant for us and the way we're living and the way we're doing things, and pause. I've been reading quite a bit of Yuval Harari. He's a historian from Israel, and he's talking about this pandemic and what it means for us, and how actually it's fast-forwarding history. You know, a whole lot of things have changed all at once. And for me at school, those sort of changes were that suddenly all the issues we had with the photocopier have stopped. You know, my day, I'd be delivering these sessions on the one hand, doing all this important information literacy, showing the students how to navigate websites, how to trust sources, and how to tell if they could read an article and look at the author and the currency and whether that person's, you know, whether they've got the right to be talking about their work. So I've been doing all this really interesting stuff with the students that actually tied in nicely with COVID-19, because that's what they need to do when they're looking up information and they're reading articles and they're getting information through. And then there's this other side of my job that's absolutely frantic with photocopier issues and paper issues and printing issues and Chromebook issues. And the strange thing about this is that all of those issues have disappeared. You know, overnight, really, we solved our Chromebook issue. I helped think about an app for running the Chromebooks. We were trying to issue them, trying to get a system working for 4 years. We had teams of people working on it. And suddenly, overnight, we've got this sort of fast forward of history that Yuval's talking about, where our Chromebook issue's been solved, you know. Their students at school, if they had a device, they used that device. If they didn't, we distributed the Chromebooks out to them. And then there's a backup plan for those students that fall outside that. So it's interesting to me to think what my job's going to be like when I go back, because I don't really want to go back to how it was before, now that we know we have these systems in place. Yeah.
Hey, so those insights are so cool. And as I'm talking to more and more people, everybody's really captured by that idea that you've just said around actually what's my work going to look like when I go back in that kind of post-COVID environment, because yeah, I mean, without the actual physical being able to respond physically to a situation, things are either just not being done, which is fine, or we are still finding workarounds for them. It's such an interesting time.
Yeah. Solving problems in a way that we haven't managed before. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I can just take you through into the lightning round, which is a part of the conversation where I ask you some quite fast questions.
Okay.
So, what is your approach to dress code during the lockdown?
Jeans, linen shirt, and I've got Converse Morse sneakers on at the moment, especially.
Cool. And what are you having for dinner tonight?
Curry, chicken masala that's left over from last night. Yeah, actually the night before. It's doing food's going a long way. Yeah.
And do you have a practical tip that you would recommend for working from home?
set up a space, and if you need to call noise control about your neighbours, do it.
Hey, that is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
That's okay.
Hope you have a good day.
Yeah, thanks, Liam.
Right, bye.
Okay, see you later.